whiplash on this playoff roller coaster for the Bears. Let's take you through what it's been like. They were 5-1 out of the gate this year. October 18th, they had nearly an 80% chance at that point, it looked like, of making the playoffs. Then nearly 2 entire calendar months of losing. 6 straight losses for the Bears. That brought you into December. They were in their playoff chances were on life support in early December. Then they get those 2 wins. They knock off Houston and Minnesota. It puts them back in the playoff picture, and things have changed in a big way in the last 48 hours. Check this out. Last night, Arizona losing to San Fran, that alone put Chicago over 50% their playoff chances. It opened the door if they could take care of business against Jacksonville today, which you just showed us they did. So now the Bears with a 70% chance.
Steve Kornacki talking about the percentages and the possibilities and the probabilities as the playoffs approach. Week 16 almost completely in the books. A little Sunday surprise draft, and because, Chris, I am still feeling somewhat charitable, not much, though, since it was Christmas 3 days ago, my gift to you is the first pick.
Oh, I just get the first pick today? Okay, great. I'll take it. Fine.
It's my gift to you.
No problem.
Because a trivia question was not gifted to me.
Oh, it was not? I think there's one there in the sheets. I just don't think you can read. It was there.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Trust me. It's not a question. Go ahead. Make a pick.
All right. I guess it was something.
It's Casey and I trading insults. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I don't care. I'm going to go to Saturday, the Saturday scrimmage that we watched, all right? I'm going to talk about that real quick. Not that was a huge surprise, but the fact that we saw a scrimmage in Saturday football where we saw one professional team and one practice squad team out there versus Tom Brady and the Bucs, that was unbelievable. Brady, again, that offense, like we've talked about the last, 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know. The Bucs, the way they're playing, I think they're damn scary. I think they have figured it out on the offensive side of the ball. I knew they were going to win that game yesterday or Saturday. We both knew that. But, they could have scored 150 points in that game if they wanted. Brady could have thrown for 700 yards. That was not even they didn't even need to break a sweat. He was just phenomenal. I felt like talking about it. That's why I'm picking it number 1. The way he threw the football, the way their offense looked, they are damn dangerous. Almost 600 yards of total offense, and Brady didn't even play the second half. Pretty impressive, and I just still think that was surprising because the Lions have at least competed here the last few weeks, and they totally laid an egg last Saturday.
Yeah, they were down to like the interim to the interim to the interim coach. They had multiple coaches not available due to COVID-19 protocols. They tried to get the game delayed by a day. One thing we've learned since October, the NFL is not going to push games back because they're concerned it's going to get worse and you're not going to be able to play it the next day. It's on you to make sure that your guys are able to go. And if there's any hint that there's any fault or culpability by players, coaches, whatever, in a COVID-19 outbreak, they're even less likely to find any type of lenience or concession for a team that would like to get some more time so it's ready to go. So that's what happened to the Lions. And frankly, Chris, I thought that Bruce Arians would let Tom Brady go for the single-game passing record of 554 yards, set in 1951 by Norm Van Brocklin. He had 348 Brady did at halftime. He only needed 207 to break it in the second half, and it's against the Lions JV team with JV coaching. He would have gotten it if they'd have left him in, but if he would have gotten injured, then they probably would have not allowed Bruce Arians to go back to Tampa Bay ever again, even to go pack up the stuff at his house. First one for me, I'm going to stay with Saturday. And I want to focus on the thing that surprised me most about what happened with the Raiders-Dolphins game. And yeah, it was the throw with the head getting ripped off. But I'm really going to focus in on the Raiders not scoring a touchdown when they could. It's one thing to take that knee when you're leading late and you're trying to milk the clock and you've worked out the analytics side of it as to keeping the other team from ever having a chance to get the ball back, an onside kick, and coming back and winning. You're up by, you're not even up at that point. You're down a point. You're trying to work the angle here to not score, take time off the clock, kick a field goal, and then make it easier for the team to beat you when they get the ball back because you're not defending the end zone at that point. You're just trying to defend a field goal. I don't know why you don't take the touchdown. Look, I got no problem with Josh Jacobs taking the knee at the 1, but then after that, when you milk it down to 105, I think you take the touchdown with 105. The Dolphins were trying to let them score. The Raiders didn't want to score. And obviously the result proved that it was a mistake. But I still think I would rather, with a team that has no timeouts, I'd rather give them a minute on the clock and say, try to score a touchdown than give them 20 seconds. And all I need is one fluke play, and they're in range for a field goal to beat me. With today's field goal kickers, I always am going to choose to defend the end zone over defending a field goal.
I get that. I do. I mean, I don't want us to be too, nitpicky about it either, though, too. I mean, I'm with you. I would always err on I'd rather make the team go score a touchdown, definitely. But I can understand Gruden's thinking there. Their defense stinks. And it had stunk that whole fourth quarter. I mean, so I think that's what he was scared too. I think he was scared because he just, on a drive before had watched the running back catch a 4-yard throw on a slant route, and 7 of his guys couldn't tackle him, and Myles Gaskin ran for a 53-yard touchdown. So I think he was a little bit like, I don't trust my defense here in the stretch, down the stretch. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick and then will probably go down and score a touchdown. So, I'm with you, but I'm not going to sit here and get mad at Gruden for that. I am going to get mad at Damon Arnett, the corner over there, who's in cover 2, and he's protecting the flat. Like a 4-yard gain into the flat's going to change the game. No, you get back.
Did he call that defense?
No.
Did he call that defense?
No, but I'm sure.
Right, don't be mad at him, then.
Well, he's been coached on what to do. I mean, he's supposed to not go to the flat in that scenario. I know that. I played in the defense. I played in Tampa during the Tampa 2 era. That was a mess up. But either way, I get you, and it's certainly a good talking point. I'm going to go to the third quarter explosion by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's probably one of the shockers of Sunday to me, just because the way the Steelers had looked on offense the last few weeks, the way they had looked through the first 2 quarters of the game yesterday, we were getting to that where you just went, chalk it up. I mean, the Steelers are done. They're done. They're not – I mean, we were sitting there going, man, they look so bad that, yes, Cleveland was down to the Jets at that time, but you went, I think Cleveland's going to win the game still, and Pittsburgh's going to lose, and Cleveland's going to beat Pittsburgh next week, and Pittsburgh's going to end up on the road, in their first-round wild card game. I mean, that's really where my brain had gone. And then the big pass of Deontay Johnson. And here we go. And it got the mojo going, and Big Ben started throwing that football all around the field. And, Mike, the big thing is what we've talked about the last 2 or 3 weeks, too. They look at their touchdowns. Deontay Johnson down the sideline. Juju Smith-Schuster down the middle for, his 25-yard touchdown pass. They kept blockers in. They made Big Ben feel good. Okay, I'm comfortable, I'm protected, and now I can throw the ball down the field. And to me, with the older quarterbacks, that's something that you got to tinker with. And Brady and the Bucs have figured that out.
Next one for me, the fact that the Falcons played the Chiefs so close, 17-14. Who would have ever dreamed that final score for Chiefs-Falcons? We had 37-30. That was my pick as of Wednesday, and I'm glad I changed my mind after hearing you explain it during our Mega Picks podcast that the Falcons would cover. They did cover, but to only have 31 total points in the game and to have the game as close as it was, that was a stunner to me because I thought the Chiefs were kind of past that. I thought they'd learned that they do kind of sleepwalk from time to time, and they weren't going to let it happen. They let it happen. They still found a way to win, barely, but I was surprised that it was as close as it was.
Yeah, I thought that Atlanta might be able to keep it close. Sun shines on a dog's butt every now and then during the pick segment, and that one was where I ended up right. But I think the thing that's concerning, the Falcons have been playing good D. We've seen the Falcons be able to rush the quarterback, and the Chiefs are having issues protecting the quarterback right now. That's a real issue. I haven't seen them like this through the Mahomes, Andy Reid era. So, hopefully they can get healthy here down the stretch and change that little aspect of their football team. But they were in danger of losing altogether, which was a little surprising to me. I think my next one is going to have to be Andy Dalton and the high-flying Cowboys, just for what they did in the pass game, their wide receivers, everything. Not that I'm shocked that they won against the Philadelphia Eagles, but I didn't think they were going to score 37 points and Andy Dalton was going to throw for almost 400 yards and just carve them up that way. That was pretty surprising, and now I give them the leader in that. They're in the leader house to win the NFC East.
Well, and Ezekiel Elliott also, that was my surprise, the fact that he had that rebirth at a time when people were saying, hey, maybe Tony Pollard is the better option at tailback for the Cowboys. For me, the Jets' 2-game winning streak. I'm surprised that's still on the board. Jets, Jets. They had the video of Fireman Ed on the board yesterday at the empty MetLife Stadium. Here they are, 2 wins in a row. Maybe if they can finish with 3 in a row, Adam Gase is back next year. I don't think that anything is going to save him at this point.
Don't give the Jets fans any more heart attacks, okay?
It's a testament to the fact that it's the NFL. There's pride, and sometimes guys can find a way when you think there's no way. And sorry, Jets fans, but no Trevor Lawrence, maybe Justin Fields, maybe someone else, maybe Sam Darnold's your guy next year.
Maybe.
All to be determined as the offseason unfolds.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.